Welcome to Mild's Comics Plate. The following may contain copyrighted material under fair use. Batman, created by Bob Kane with Bill Finger, is property of DC Comics with all related characters. Hey everybody, I know I've been promising this video for quite some time now, and life hit me with the 1-2-3 punch of family drama, life drama, and then I got sick. So if you hear a little bit of sniffling or clearing of my throat during this video, just kind of ignore it. I'm just getting over battling this long cold. But today we have The Long Halloween by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. And the first thing I need to mention is if you haven't read a comic with art by Tim Sale before, your initial reaction is going to be, oh wow, this is awful. And Tim Sale is an acquired taste. I wouldn't personally call the art awful. I think it's, there's a limited color palette, often with a lot of black filled in for shadows and kind of a black and white offset style with, the faces and character features are often over exaggerated, and it is a different style than your more realism and other superhero genre books. A lot of artists, they go for a lot of detail. This is glaringly obvious for its lack of detail but heightened emotion. And that's really what Tim Sale's going for. I wouldn't call his art bad. I actually kind of like it to some degree. I do like your more traditional superhero comic book art style a little better. But, that's not saying this is bad. As far as kind of a general preview of the book, not a review, but a preview of the book. Jeph Loeb's writing style tends to lean itself to a lot of plot twists, a lot of important information buried in the lead. This has been one of the challenges of making this video is, for the copyright gods, I can only show a few pages at a time. I can't really show you every page of the book, so figuring out where all the key twists and turns and plot points and cliffhangers of the various chapters of this book are, and trying to show you at least the key parts of this really whodunit mystery. Jeph Loeb likes these whodunit mysteries. If you have read Hush, you know what I'm talking about. They recently had the cartoon version of Hush that was released, and I might review that on my channel here in the next few days. He really likes the plot twists and the whodunit and the key information dropped every couple of pages. And so, this has been quite the book to get through. And it's going to be quite the journey I'm about to take you all on. I'm going to try to speed through it as quick as I can and skip what I can. But two important pieces of information. This book takes place very early in Batman's career. So, Jim Gordon still early in his career. All your supporting casts, Harvey Dent. That there are a lot of key pieces of information about all of these characters and how early it is in all of their lives and their interactions with Gotham City as a whole. If you've seen the Dark Knight trilogy, and who hasn't, the movie trilogy, they take a lot from this book as well. If you're familiar with the Sal Maroni character or the Carmine Falcone character, they're sort of two of the key players in this book. And they've taken, that those movies have taken some of those mob war slash police corruption angles, and we visited some of that in Batman Year One. Jeph Loeb definitely kind of follows up on some of those themes in this book. And another thing you're going to see is a rundown of a lot of Batman's rogues gallery. So your Joker, your Scarecrow, your, like I said, Harvey Dent, Catwoman pops up frequently in this book. And, so you're going to have a bunch of those characters popping up from time to time. And sort of the theme of the book is that, there's someone who keeps killing mobsters on holidays. Every month or every couple of months, there's another holiday and another murder. And, they're trying to figure out who done it. So, to jump right in, we've got this ongoing theme of, like I said, corruption. You have Carmine Falcone, aka the Roman, trying to get a bank, trying to get insiders onto a bank's board, and Bruce Wayne keeps holding up these important votes. We meet some members of his family. I'm going to kind of do that off screen here. Okay, so we have I'm sorry. I've been digging through this book so much I kind of forgot what this was. Okay, what they're trying to do is oh yeah, okay. So yeah, there was a ball, and Harvey Dent was there, and yeah, they kind of attack him from behind. Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne kind of find him and help him out. Sorry. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually flipped through those pages because I've been working on this for so long. And yeah, so this tells you, these couple of panels here set up that Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent are sort of friends slash allies. He's on this date with Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, and he kind of gets out of going back to Selina's apartment because he's Batman. You have Jim Gordon working late. Harvey Dent stopping by talking about how that he wants to bring down these mafia types. And go ahead and skip a couple for the. Okay, so what we have now is Catwoman had been ransacking one of Falcone's bedrooms and runs into Batman. Oh wow, and he says, this isn't the first time our paths have crossed inside this penthouse. Is there a connection? She says, I don't have time for this. The two of them fight, and Falcone's men bust in, start shooting up the place, and Batman releases a smoke grenade in my own home where my children sleep on my nephew's wedding day. Milo's my trusted friend. Surely you have an explanation. Catwoman and Batman. There's a time, Carmine, we would never ever let this happen. $1 million for either of them, the bat or the cat. So he's just now set up, a price on their head for a mob hit for Catwoman and or Batman. And, this is when Jim Gordon decides he's going to let Harvey Dent meet the Batman. They talk about how Falcone's above the law. There's murderers. In what way isn't the Roman above the law? We can talk around it, but we know what needs to be done. And, they talk about bringing him in, making sure a conviction would stick. Okay? So here we are in September. And, let's see, who was this? Oh, yeah, these are the newlyweds. This is his nephew. Why don't we get out of Gotham City for a while, go to Paris? Richard, are you serious? Paris and Autumn, how romantic. And then somebody pulls up and shoots him. Somewhere in this city, I know the Roman is laughing. Well, then again, maybe that's not his nephew. I'm sorry. Oh, yes, okay, this was the bank president and his lady. Okay, so, they're killing the bank president to try to create another vacancy on this board. Oh, I am so sorry about that. And you see someone fashioning a gun, essentially filing off the serial number, wrapping the handle so that it can't be fingerprinted. You meet Harvey Dent and his wife Gilda, and meanwhile, you have another mobster killed in his bathtub. With a baby bottle nipple for a silencer. Yeah, that was Johnny Vitti, that was the nephew. Yeah, there we go. He's dead. So he's the nephew. He got whacked. And then there's a little scene where Batman and Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon are talking about it. Another little scene where Catwoman comes to Batman and offers her helping with these mysteries, so to speak. And so here's another thing here. Batman and Harvey Dent break into one of Falcone's warehouses. And here we see this giant stockpile of money. And, it says, follow the money. That's how Catwoman began. Seems Falcone hasn't been able to launder his cash for a while now. He's been forced to stockpile it. If we were two other guys in a room full of untraceable cash, we're not. Yeah, but I was thinking how easy, don't. And, yeah, they burn it. So, this is another interesting thing. The Dark Knight movie, you had Joker burning the mobster's cash just for fun. Here you have Batman and Harvey Dent burning Falcone's cash to choke him off and make sure that he exposes himself. Okay, and here we have Harvey Dent's house. He's coming home to his wife again, and she's welcoming him home, and boom, the house blows up. Okay, so I'm going to skip the first page of the next chapter. Batman had traced the bomb parts to this guy here. Said, you laced it with nails, you bought the nails. This nail was part of that bomb. Every nail has a serial number like a gun, which traces the manufacturer and the hardware store and your apartment and your receipt. You bought those nails. And he's like, it's like he didn't have it coming. If it weren't for me that done the deed, there was a line around the block to do it anyway. And you bought those nails. You knew I would find you. It's only a matter of time. And so this is Batman interrogating him, and then he decides to jump out the window and run into the sewers. So then we have a scene where Batman runs into Solomon Grundy trying to chase this guy into the sewers. Grundy kind of beats up Batman a little bit, and the little guy kind of gets away. But then I guess the police got him back. I don't know. You found me like you said. I did the deed. I'll put it in writing. Make no mistake. We all know what Dent gone and done. Only you got to be asking yourself who killed Johnny Vitti. We're done with you, Mickey. Get out of here. Okay, so they're done with him. And do you think there was anything to what he was saying? That Harvey Dent put 2 bullets in the Roman's nephew's skull? I can't believe that. I won't believe that, and neither should you. Okay, so they're going by the theory, at least Falcone's men are going by the theory, that Harvey Dent's the one that killed Vitti. And the lights go out. Oh, okay, that's just Batman leaving, I guess. Weird. Okay, so you have Carla Falcone's sister, upset that her son has been killed. And Carla, my sister, the matter's being handled. The DA, you don't think this was the work of little Harvey Dent. Said it was being handled. It's Thanksgiving, no more business. Okay, so now, spoiler alert, you know it's a holiday. So you know someone's probably about to die in this. So you have a bunch of criminals that have just confessed to their portions of the bombing of Harvey Dent's house. And so then we have this little scene in Jim's office where it's Harvey Dent, but he dressed up as the Mickey guy that was just chased through the sewers. And yeah, he went to a secret meeting with the Falcone crime family, and you know, I guess I'm not dead anymore. Don't know how you do it. I'm letting them walk. We put a word on the street. They cut a deal. Let's see how the Roman reacts. So they're going to take the 5 guys who confessed, and they're gonna create a rumor that they squealed, and see if they wind up dead, or see if Falcone scrambles to do something else. We could still charge them. They confess to attempted murder. They blew up your house. They'll make bail. We'll still have nothing. Charge them, Harvey, or I'll find someone else in the DA's office who will. Harvey was wrong. They made bail in less than an hour. The Dents spent Thanksgiving together at Gotham City Memorial. His wife, obviously injured. Gordon went home late. He's got dinner waiting on him, but no family. Okay, so we see that these events are taking their toll on our protagonists. Oh, and Batman also left Thanksgiving dinner for Solomon Grundy for helping him out. Okay, and then, Falcone's family together for the underlings, the mobsters are together for Thanksgiving dinner, and boom, they all get shot they'll get shot during their celebration. So, we have celebrating. Okay, then we're introduced to the Joker. I'm going to skip the first few pages of him. He's just basically throwing a fit about how awful Christmas time is, since now that's after Thanksgiving. And he's in someone's house, ties them up, takes their presents, and walks away. Christmas Eve in Gotham City. Serial killer the newspapers have dubbed Holiday is on the loose. He or she is struck on Halloween and Thanksgiving, holidays, and tomorrow's Christmas. The Joker has escaped again, attacked some family, took all their Christmas presents for God's sakes. Batman's like, I know how, we just heard, and never mind. So many are here. They're in Arkham Asylum. Nearly double from when you first appeared. Not that there's a direct correlation, but do you give it any thought? No. I know what Gordon's implying, that my presence somehow attracts these men and women to my city. Jim Gordon's a good man, and the police do the best they can with limited resources. Okay, and the next thing they do is they visit the cell of Julian Day, aka Calendar Man, for no other reason than this is a calendar-related serial killer. You know, they're killing people on holidays, so they figure maybe he's got some insight or he knows what's going on, or maybe perhaps he's involved, but alas, he is not. And, okay, so the next little scene here, we have the Joker at Maroni's Italian restaurant. And so his little associate, Vernon here. Oh, no, that's not Vernon. Toots. His name is Toots. Starts laughing. He's been affected with the Joker toxin. And Maroni's like, no clown comes into my place. And then Joker whips out a bigger gun of his own, says, mine's bigger, Maroni, or should I say Holiday? He's like, Holiday, sure, you're the number 2 man in the burg. Carmine is numero uno. Holiday only whacks the Romans men. So the Joker's pretty much nailed Maroni for being this Holiday who's killing Falcone's men. And he's like, well, who is Holiday? Okay, because he's kind of, the Joker's off his rocker a little bit, and, he's upset that someone else is creating the kind of madness he would want to create. And, okay, so the next thing that happens, they carry the dead associate of Maroni out to the back, and Batman asks, what went on here tonight? Some guy calls himself the Joker, came looking for Holiday. What's his connection? How should I know? He's a lunatic like you. Okay, lunatics. Just like I was saying, the Joker's got no interest. Okay, so Harvey Dent gives his wife a new house for Christmas. Fun times. And, that's that for... But they come in and the Joker's inside. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so then he goes to Falcone's? Yes, Falcone's penthouse. Yeah, the Romans' penthouse. Dang. I need to learn to read. Sorry, guys. I know this is kind of monotonous a little bit because I'm not giving as much commentary as I usually would, but some of this could be hard to follow when you're trying to speed through it like I'm trying to do here. Okay, so we have the Joker... Falcone, you find this Holiday or I'll kill everyone in Gotham until I find him. He spoke not a word but went straight to work, filled all the soggies, then turned with the... Okay, so he's acting like Santa Claus. But you got this guy who pulled a gun on him outside of Falcone's penthouse, and then someone else, after the Joker drives away, pulls up and shoots the guy. So you have another one of Falcone's men murdered on yet another holiday, Christmas. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time. Alright. Then Batman, kind of Merry Christmas Joker, this will be your last. Then New Year's Eve, the Joker's flying an airplane. And you see a bunch of airline employees, either dead or Joker-fied. You have Harvey working hard. You have Batman chasing the airplane. I found, okay, so you have one of the assistant DAs. I guess this is the Vernon guy that I mistook earlier. Sir, this is important. I found a link between Roman Falcone and billionaire Bruce Wayne. Sorry, but I thought you should be the first to know. The second, actually. Fortunately, Bruce Wayne seems to have known about this for some time. Okay, so now this is when Harvey Dent and the DA's office starts to suspect that Bruce Wayne is somehow involved in all of this madness. Okay, and it's almost midnight, and Joker's flying around on this little, Red Baron aircraft thing. And you think after all the aggravation of stealing this crop duster, you think they'd give me one that would fly right. And of course, Batman's on it, and he tells him to land the plane, and Joker essentially spins the aircraft so Batman falls off, and he barely hangs on. Okay, so here we go. We have Maroni and Falcone meeting at a fancy dinner, their New Year's Eve celebration. All I know is this Struntz likes to hit members of my family, my business. There doesn't seem to be any of your blood on the side of the table. What are you saying, Falcone? Have a happy New Year, Sal. It might just be your last. So he basically threatens him, says, hey, this is kind of crazy that it's our guys getting killed, not your guys. And, of course, the very next page, just like Papa, keep your friends close. Have you seen Alberto? It's nearly midnight. I saw him on deck earlier. Anyway, I need some air, so I'll tell your son you're looking for him. She goes out on the deck. Boom, he's dead. So, we're not even halfway through, and we're at almost 30 minutes into the video. I'm going to try to really speed this up. Jim's niece Babs is staying, so this is going to be where the introduction of Barbara Gordon, who will be future Batgirl. And it's really just a line. You don't really see her in this comic. And then Jim Gordon, we need to talk about Bruce Wayne. Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon. So, again, they think Bruce Wayne's somehow involved. Batman continues his fight with the Joker. They crash into a clock tower, and Batman's like, the new year, one where the promise I made to my parents, the promise to rid the city of the evil that took their lives, might finally be within reach. So, Batman's sick of this crap, and he's ready to really push this crime more to the next level. January 6th, Little Christmas. City coroner has found a body. It's Alberto's. Okay, now we're going to fast forward to Valentine's Day. And Harvey Dent and Jim Gordon at Wayne Manor, trying to ask questions here. You would happen to remember anyone named Falcone dropping by to see Mr. Thomas Wayne. As I was saying, surely you have other obligations to Mrs. Gordon. Haven't seen her in some time. And he's like, Barbara, hey, do you remember you get Gilda anything? No, she's going to kill me. So yeah. They obviously forgot about their lovers on Valentine's Day in order to chase this Bruce Wayne lead. Meanwhile, Falcone visits the cemetery to pay respects to the grave of his son, and finds Batman there, pulls a gun on him, and Catwoman gets involved. Again, each time I've been near the Roman, she appears. And so this kind of becomes an ongoing thing of every time Batman's around Falcone, Catwoman pops out again. Skip another couple of pages. Yeah, so this, again, these are all important little tidbits of information that lead you to the next plot twist. So then Valentine's Day night, Selena and Bruce attend a dinner together, in which Bruce is pricked by a rose that he buys from a random person with a hood and a white face. And then, okay, so we have the assistant DA taking money from Sal Maroni. And Mr. Maroney, my employer, Mr. Dent, the district attorney has targeted you. He believes you're the weak link in the Falcone organization, when it's really not Falcone's organization, it's his own. Does he? Come on. Have the feel it's the best in the city. And meanwhile, outside, we have Falcone's men watching the place, casing the joint, and someone comes by and shoots 4 of them. And then the car blows up. And the place got shot up. And so now Maroni has officially been hit by Holiday. Okay, and then you finally have Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent going back to their ladies and giving them some Valentine's Day loving. And so Bruce kind of follows this lead that the Red Rose gave him, and it's poison ivy. You know you can't resist me. On to the next chapter, which is chapter 6. So we're almost halfway there. We have, okay, so it starts out somebody getting released from Gotham Penitentiary. They don't show us necessarily who it is. Get in, he's waiting, and he knows it's his daughter. Sophia. So we have Karma. Okay, anyway, that was kind of a weird. March, the monthly board meeting of the Gotham City Bank. I hear the words coming from my mouth, and yet it is as if someone else is speaking. Okay, so here we have Poison Ivy has been mind controlling Bruce to some degree to do the bidding of Falcone. After giving the matter much consideration, I'm now of the opinion that our former bank president, the late Richard Daniel, was correct. Falcone Imports should do business with Gotham City Bank, and Gotham City Bank should do business with Falcone Imports. I've given the go-ahead for a wire transfer of $350 million as requested by Mr. Falcone. And so now you actually have Bruce Wayne involved in Falcone's operation, kind of giving credence to the little theory that Harvey Dent had going on. As he's leaving the bank, Bruce kind of ignores Selena. I'm kind of flipping through off camera here for a second. And so the cops are talking. So Jim Gordon and Harvey Dent are talking about what to do about Bruce Wayne. And Sophia goes to see her aunt. And so that's what's going on here. Aunt Carla, Sophia, your father didn't tell me you were coming home. You see this gun? It's a .22. I forgot to give it to the cops when your brother Alberto was killed. The same kind of gun was used to kill my Johnny on Halloween. I'm going to use this gun. I'm going to get this Cafone holiday. Does father know you have that? Carla, I was sent here out of respect. We're going to hit Maroni on St. Patrick's Day morning. Papa believes that Maroney either is Holiday or knows who it is. Will you come out against us? Now that Carmine has handled the banking situation, money is flowing, things are as they should be. Thank you. Okay, so the mobsters are getting their money now, and Bruce Wayne's kind of going to take the fall for it a little bit, and now they know what kind of gun, at least the Carla Falcone knows what kind of gun has been killing these people. So, Bruce has Ivy in Wayne Manor, and again, she still has control over him, and Catwoman now on the trail of what the hell's going on with Bruce, since he completely ignored Selina outside the bank, decides to investigate, and she comes in and gets in a fight with Ivy, and Bruce tries to stop her, and yeah, meanwhile, so she kind of knocks it out of him, and the aforementioned St. Patrick's Day murders happen. And Sophia, someone beat us to the punch. This changes things. So someone else shot up Sal Maroney's safe house. This is where it gets thick, y'all. I'm sorry. This is kind of the mundane stuff I was talking about to some degree. Every couple of pages is another tiny tidbit of information that is super important to the story. And so it kind of, you have Catwoman using the bat signal to get his attention, and you have Falcone, you see kind of Poison Ivy's vines here, and he's paid her off and says, sorry about the Catwoman interference. Batman pays a visit to Riddler. And okay, so here's an interesting thing. All of these little holiday related things have been left at all of these crime scenes. And so Bruce is asking the Riddler about, what's the riddle here? What's the theme, so to speak? Batman has one of the guns, he's analyzing it. Question, why does Holiday always use the same type of weapon? Answer, he gets them wholesale. Or, let's be more practical, these 22 pistols are lightweight, easy on the hand, perfect for a woman. So now, kind of the idea is they're trying to tease that Catwoman may be the Holiday killer. And definitely if you've read some other Catwoman stuff, you know that she kind of has familial ties to mafia figures. So Riddler lays out this whole scenario. And, just some more false leads, so to speak. But here we go. Captain Gordon told me how he showed up late on New Year's Eve. On Christmas, he could have followed the Joker from his home and killed Milo's, the Roman's bodyguard. He left Wayne Manor on Valentine's Day with plenty of time to confront Maroney's men at the restaurant. What will you do now, sir? Pray I'm wrong. Harvey Dent. So, Batman seems to think Harvey's involved now, and which is interesting because Harvey thinks Bruce is involved now, and that's kind of the next little spot. So Falcone and Sophia Falcone, Carmine and Sophia Falcone kidnap the Riddler, and the Holiday killer shoots all around him as they let him go, and then he's running through an alley, gets confronted, and bullets all around him, but does not kill him. Since when does a killer not kill? Okay, on to Chapter 8, Mother's Day. So they visit Julian Day Calendar Man again, and, he kind of brags that Batman hasn't caught this killer yet. Batman finds Scarecrow's cell empty on Mother's Day. Someone had given him some straw that I scraped the window bars open. And yeah, he got away. And Batman runs him down. At which time he realizes, nope, this is just literally a scarecrow on a horse with Scarecrow's fear toxin. So now Batman's under the influence of fear toxin, and Gordon once again visits Bruce Wayne's house. Meanwhile, Sophia finds some guy. She's trying to track down the gun, the source of the gun, and this guy says, the gunsmith says that once a month he makes a custom .22 pistol. Address in Chinatown, Chong's Tea House. She gets there, and the gunsmith is dead. So, once again, another figure, another holiday, another murder. Bruce Wayne is having a fear panic attack. I'm not going to show that. I'm going to leave that off camera because we've all seen so many scenes of Bruce Wayne and his fear involving his mother and father and their deaths. And Jim Gordon's chasing him through the streets during this whole thing. And I don't know where he ditched the Batman costume, but they catch him hugging his mom's grave. And then there goes through this memory. So the next chapter, chapter 9, starts with Bruce Wayne. It's Father's Day at this point. Bruce Wayne is remembering his father working charity and being in one of these fancy ball dinners and basically being kidnapped by the Falcones and forced to operate on one of their men, who actually wound up being Carmine Falcone. I realize now that the life my father saved was Carmine the Roman Falcone, Gotham City's untouchable crime lord. For all the good he tried to bring Gotham City, my father's actions have resulted in my being here behind bars. So, essentially what's happened is Jim Gordon has made the connection between the Wayne family and the Falcone family because of this weird event that happened in the past. It seems real dumb to me, but it is what it is. You have, so the next page shows Alfred on the stand in court talking about these events and why Thomas Wayne didn't report the crime or help the DA at the time, and Alfred essentially gives him the city was too fucking corrupt back then. So what? Like anything would have happened back then. Here you have Big Lou Maroney, a retired former head of the Falcone crime family, and boom, he takes one. So you have Father's Day, and you have the father of one of the biggest mafia figures being killed again with another little trinket left on another holiday. The next couple pages are just various characters meeting their fathers. Uh, and here, okay, so yeah, you had, yeah, somebody had left something in. Okay, never mind. No, it was Jim Gordon interacting with his son. That sort of irrelevant, other than to play on the Father's Day theme of that last issue. But here you have Harvey Dent. You know, I met my father. Oh God, and crazy as ever, he gave me something though. What is it? I was so sure that Bruce Wayne was doing favors for the Falcone family, but a jury of my peers didn't agree with me. It's like they flipped a coin. Heads he wins, tails I lose, and Bruce Wayne, with all his money, goes back to society, leaving the rest of us to take care of what needs to be done. So here you see the origins of the famous Two-Face coin. And you see Harvey Dent angry that Bruce Wayne, quote, got away with it. So he thinks Bruce Wayne is, a murderer, or at least an accomplice with the Falcone family. The next thing we see is Scarecrow and the Mad Hatter working together. I'm going to go ahead and skip just a few pages of that. Okay, and then we have Sal Maroni showing up to the DA's office and telling Harvey Dent, you want a piece of me, we both want a piece of Falcone. Maybe it's time we found out what we can do for each other. And okay, so the next issue opens up, it's the 4th of July, and the Gotham City coroner is murdered and thrown into the river. And Bruce Wayne and Selina Kyle are making out on the balcony of Wayne Manor when the bat signal lights up the sky. Here we have Harvey Dent. I need to talk to you, then talk. Remember the deal we made, you, me, Jim Gordon, right here to bring down the Roman? I do. Do you? I made a mistake going after Bruce Wayne. Then tell me. I just wanted you to know that I make mistakes. I try not to make them twice. But after Maroni testifies against the Roman, I think it'll finally be over. I think I want some time off to get out of the city for a while. And Holiday, the docks. He struck again at the docks. This time it's a civilian. And so they found the body of the coroner. Fired twice at close range. Whoever Holiday is, he or she can always get up close. I've seen you get pretty close without nobody noticing. Meanwhile, Catwoman's prowling in the background listening to all this. Why the coroner, Batman, all other Falcone killings were related. Can anyone account for the whereabouts of Harvey Dent at the time of the killings? Harvey, why don't you think... Oh, and Harvey Dent's gone. That's odd. All the city's fireworks were set off earlier. Just some kids. Probably, right, Batman? Now Batman's gone. And essentially, they just find out that Scarecrow and Mad Hatter are using the fireworks as a distraction to rob a bank. Till now, I thought they were acting alone, helping each other, but the bank, the money all point to one man, the Roman. Okay, so then you have Catwoman helping apprehend them. You've been following me. The police headquarters on the docks. I love fireworks. I like the Cheshire Cat. I like all this money that's just sitting there. I know places, Batman, things only I could show you. The Roman orchestrated all of this. Do you want to help? That's not what I had in mind. You're lost. Okay, because she's trying to love him up, and he's like, nope. No, the price of independence. Fears, madness. So, The next thing that happens is Harvey Dent's wife Gilda finds one of the holiday guns in his office, in his briefcase. He's like, it's evidence. We're working on this holiday thing. She says, I'm your wife. Talk to me. When do you bring evidence home from the office? I'm the district attorney. I do it all the time. She, of course, lying through his freaking teeth. I thought you only came out at night. Where is he? He says, August 2nd. For nearly a year, serial killer. Only once has a killer allowed a victim to live, on April Fool's Day. That was the Riddler. So, Batman's looking for... I forget who he's looking for here. Oh, the Riddler. Obviously. I've been looking for you, Riddler. When is it? What time is it when Batman finds your hideout? Time to get a new hideout. Hit it? And, you know, I want to draw some attention here to this fight scene. Look at this art. Look at it. You know, kind of a weird angle for Batman's face. And then kind of a weird... sorry, I rarely draw attention to the art in a book, but, you know, I mentioned Tim Sale's art earlier. Just kind of had to... Okay, Carla's yelling at Falcone for hiring Poison Ivy and Riddler and Scarecrow and Mad Hatter. Okay, so here we have an epic scene in Batman history. You have Sal, aka Boss Maroney, being called into court by District Attorney Harvey Dent. Now, remember, the deal was that Maroney would flip on Falcone and give up some testimony that would put the Roman under, so to speak. And he doesn't do it. Falcone, Mr. Maroney, something is wrong. He pulls out some antacid, says, I'll ask you again. 1 second, I got something right here. And then you have Falcone blowing out birthday candles. And what you just saw was Sal Maroney throwing acid into the face of Harvey Dent, which is the origin of the character Two-Face. And so the next scene is essentially Jim Gordon and his wife and Harvey Dent's wife Gilda. Mrs. Dent, your husband is gone. No. He's gone. He escaped. He stabbed the doctor, ran off, went to the coroner's office, found Sophia Falcone there, and shot her. Or maybe it was Holiday. Who knows? Okay, then we have Labor Day, and Harvey Dent is hanging out in the sewers with Solomon Grundy. Okay, so then, a double life. Captain James Gordon, the only other man in the city that I trust, but this turn with Harvey, it has changed how Gordon looks at me as well. The evidence is damning. Inside Harvey's briefcase, a .22 caliber handgun, Carmine Falcone's ledger giving him access to all the holiday's victims. They'll say he was obsessed with bringing down the Roman, that was his motive. My God, Harvey Dent is Holiday. So, more evidence that Harvey may be Holiday. And he thinks Batman has had more evidence of this than he's let on the whole time. And Jim Gordon sort of berates Batman for this. And Batman then swings by Falcone's place. Catwoman is there once again. And Falcone blames Batman for not stopping this killer. And once again, Batman asks Catwoman why she's here all the time, why she's always at the Roman's place when he shows up. She says maybe it's because the Roman treats the world like a ball of yarn. You know how much cats like to unravel a ball of yarn. Maybe it's because whenever he's around, you're around. Maybe it's none of your damn business. And she darts away. And Batman visits Gilda Dent. You know why we have to find him, you know, don't you? We found a gun, a 22 in the briefcase. Serial number filed off, same sort of weapon that Holiday uses. Please find my Harvey. And Batman visits Julian Day, Calendar Man again. And Jim Gordon decides they're going to move Sal Maroni to somewhere safer. They decide to use the sewers, which, you know, ironically is where Harvey Dent's been hanging out with Solomon Grundy. But you have Holiday show up and shoot the police escort several times and then point the gun at Jim Gordon. And then we have Labor Day in Gotham City. I'm Holiday. And the police escort gets back up, and guess what? It's Batman. So he beats down Holiday and takes him into custody. And he nearly beats him to death, but Jim Gordon stops him. And it's Alberto Falcone, the one who allegedly died on the boat several chapters ago. Yeah. He's Holiday. Days later, Falcone, you have a visitor, and Falcone tries to get him to admit to the one killing and that he'd get lawyers to quash all the other murders. He says no. He's like, I'm Holiday. You know, I'm bigger than the whole organized crime syndicate. You know, he's basically got, you know, little kid syndrome. I'm Holiday. The Roman must have known. And, you know, Gilda Dent, you know, it's Halloween night again, and she's handing out candy to trick-or-treaters and is wondering, you know, where is Harvey? Meanwhile, okay, so you have Alberto Falcone exposed as the Holiday Killer. You still have Harvey Dent on the run, along with several supervillains still out there. And Falcone and his daughter Sophia hear some noises, find a bunch of their guards with the Joker's laughing toxin. And, yeah, they find the Joker, the Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, Scarecrow, Penguin, Solomon Grundy, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, all there. And Harvey Dent deciding, you know, it's time for justice for the Roman. But then a smoke bomb pops in, Batman in to save the day, so to speak. But, you know, while the smoke is going on, a coin flipped. You see Two-Face has got the gun. And then blam, blam. 2 shots to the head. if you ask me, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Falcone's dead. Meanwhile, there's all the smoke. Gilda, or not Gilda, Sophia decides she's going to get revenge. Catwoman knocks her out, takes her out of the window, but she falls and allegedly plummets to her death. And so Batman corners Harvey Dent and gets him to confess. We'll get you help. You're the ones who are going to need help from now on. Harvey, you betrayed everything you believe in. Not everything. Arrest me, Jimbo. We'll see how Law and Order handle Harvey Dent. 1 second. There were 2 holiday killers. What? Harvey's obsessed with the number 2. We'll never know for sure, but tonight was Halloween. Harvey Dent killed the Roman with a 22, the last holiday murder. In the end, Harvey Dent was holiday 2. And was it worth it? Made a promise to bring down the Roman. What it cost us Harvey. Yes, the good guys won, Batman. But I won't know if it was worth it for a very long time. I believe in Gotham City. So you have Jim Gordon reflecting on everything that's happened. And, I believe in Batman. And here we have Sophia Falcone. No, Gilda, excuse me. You have Gilda burning evidence that she, in fact, was the holiday killer. I believe in Harvey Dent. And so she's the one who had all these files that Harvey Dent had and was upset about him always working on these cases, as she was the holiday killer all along. And yet Alberto Falcone went down for it. Anyway, so that's the weird plot twist at the end. That it was Gilda Dent the whole time, and got, Harvey paid the price. So many other Gothamites paid the price, and the ongoing crime war continues because of it all. Again, I rate this a 6 out of 10 because it's so complicated with so many little tidbits of information. The art, I'll give a 6 out of 10 as well. People like to point to this as some epic, wonderful story. A lot of Batman fans really love this book. I get that it's an epic. I get that it's a book that once you pick up, you can't really put down, because the next bit and the next bit and the next cliffhanger so it does kind of grab you and make you want to read the rest. But again, this being my third rereading here on this video of this book, it gets a little heavy. Again, there's a little too much information to absorb page by page, and you saw me get lost a few times when I was trying to narrate for the y'all. Is this a key, important book in Batman's history? I would say, since it is the modern version of Two-Face's origin story, yes. So you may want to pick it up and own it if you're a collector. There are definitely some things, some wonderful artwork that I left out of this video because it didn't make as much sense in the narrative to the story. There's some excellent panels during the fight between Batman and Joker, for example. But overall, am I glad I bought this book? Yes, I think it's worth it for the trade paperback price to get such a thick, long story that, again, contains a lot of mundane information, but, it all kind of ties in together in the end. you know, it's hard to say, but Jeph Loeb with his it was what you least expected all along kind of storytelling uh, can be a little cheap, but 6 out of 10. It's above a five. Five to me is average. Anything below a four is not worth buying. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. So if you like it, go get it. Again, I'm sorry this video has drug on for over an hour. And, if you like this content, subscribe, tell your friend, give me the thumbs up, share it on other social media, do whatever you can do. If you didn't like it, give me a little critique down in the comments. I always read the comments, and I'll get back to you with that. And I'll see you next time, maybe giving a little review of the Hush film, the cartoon movie version of Jeph Loeb's Hush. It's not going to be a full-on, story time like this video series is, but, I may give it a quick review and let you know what I thought of the film. I will see you all next time. Have a good one.